Welcome back to 7 Minute Options here on Wednesday, October 20th. Woke up this morning to hear the unexpected news that PayPal is interested in buying Pinterest. And Pinterest is popping on the news. If we look at the stock, look at this massive green candle right there. So just a day or two ago, Pinterest was down in the low 50s, 52, 53. This morning, it went as high as 66 before pulling back to where it is right now, right around 63. And this is completely unexpected, and this is fantastic news. This is absolutely amazing. So a couple of things here about how this whole thing affects my Pinterest position. So I ended up in a bit of a Pinterest hole because I had a strangle here on this earnings report, right, back in July, and I got completely destroyed on earnings. I was waiting for it to revert back to the mean. It didn't. And on top of that, I got early assignment on my naked put. So that's how I ended up being the proud owner of 100 shares at a cost basis of $66. And yeah, I mean, I sold the put there, and I sold the call, and of course I got some money for the two options, but I did end up with shares that I didn't really particularly want, and of course the price never came back. So as soon as I got the 100 shares, I opened up a new covered strangle in that position. I ended up ruling out the puts and the calls several times since then, and I've owned Pinterest a few times this year. If I look at a history here, I'm just ignore the $6,600 I paid for the 100 shares, right? So let's look at just the options here. And so far, I have $933 of profit on the options I've bought and sold on Pinterest, not including the two options I have open at the moment. But this is just all the closed positions so far this year. I'm up 933, but of course, I was down well over $1,000 on the shares, right? I bought them at 66, and just a couple of days ago, Pinterest was still at 52. And so my plan is to have a covered strangle and hope that the next earnings report will kind of have this positive move back up, and we start moving back into the 60s on that earnings report, and all is good. Okay, so the earnings is still scheduled for sometime next week. For some reason, it doesn't show here on Tasty when the earnings is, but estimates indicate it's October 27th, so it's 1 week from today. So there's a couple of things about this Pinterest PayPal tie-up. One, it's not confirmed. So this is just some kind of a rumor. And number two, there is some confusion on the numbers. So I just watched a Yahoo Finance report where one of the announcers mentioned $70 a share. And if that is the acquisition price, then there's reason to believe this will move up to 70 if that report is confirmed. And there's two things to confirm there. One, that this is not a bogus report, but there really is an acquisition coming from PayPal. And number two, that the $70 a share figure is correct. If those two are correct, I would be tempted to hold this position through earnings because it's unlikely that we're going to go much, like really far below that $70 value if the reports are true. Now, there's another report which makes more sense to me, and this one came out of Investors Business Daily, posted earlier today on 10/20, is that the valuation is around 39 billion. So the acquisition price is 39 billion. And the reason why this makes more sense to me and not the $70 a share is if I look at Pinterest, right now Pinterest at $62.81 a share is valued at 40 billion, right? Which is right around that $39 billion mark. So you can see today, ever since this news came out, Pinterest has been hovering around this $40 billion valuation mark here. $70 a share would be way up here, right? And so I think people are reading this 39 billion and putting more stake in this than the $70 a share. So $70 a share would be about, what is that? 15% higher, right? So that would you'd be looking at a valuation of around, like 47, 48 billion, right? So to me, this $39 billion valuation makes more sense. So that's where the stock is. So a couple of different ways I can play it. So I'm not a huge fan of Pinterest, and the reason why is just it has these massive moves, right? It's a $50, $60, $70 stock, and it has these massive $1,000 to $2,000 swings when you're trading options. And for that reason, I'm looking forward to getting out of it. And so if I look at the IVR, now that obviously there's a bit of volatility picking up before the expected earnings report next week, but now this news announcement has kind of mixed everything up a little bit and has gotten into the middle of it. Right now, it is around $63 a share. So what happens is if I close it out, my entire position for $63. So basically, two options I'm looking at: one, close everything out, or two, leave everything as is. If I close everything out, I lose about $280 on the shares, right? I bought them for 66. I'm buying it back for 63. So we're selling it for 63. So I got about a $280 loss there. I am making a $222 profit on the naked put, but I'm losing $412 on the naked call, which is now in the money. And so I'm recording another $190 loss there. So put together, I'm in a $370 loss. So if I go back to my year to date, I can get out of Pinterest completely, record a $370 loss, but I'm still up $933 prior to that for the whole year. So I would end this position, I would close everything out in Pinterest, being about $560 or so ahead for the year, which is not bad. And I would get $3,500 of buying power back. My buying power would be an extremely healthy $6,500. So that's the reason to sell. The reason to keep is, one, let's hope that the reports are true and PayPal is interested in an acquisition. Like, I mean, if a report comes out tomorrow morning that this is a bogus news and there's no acquisition coming, then the stock falls right back down to like 53 or 54. The only reason I would consider keeping it is my calls here have an extrinsic value of $318, right? Right now, this call option, the $60 call, is trading for $620, but really it's only worth about $317, right? $60 call, stock's at 63. So if it's trading for $620, but it's only worth $3.17 at expiration, there's $300 of value that will come out. So if I just continue to hold this as a covered strangle, or as a covered call, even if I get rid of the put, I would still, my account would go up by 300, right? That 300 time premium will disappear, and then this will get called away and the position will automatically close, but that's still 30 days away. Okay, the 50 here, the $50 put, I mean, I could close this out. Yeah, there's $50 of extrinsic value, but maybe I don't want to keep that. Let's see what happens if I close it out. How does that affect my buying power? My buying power goes up by $493. It's not bad. I pay $57 to close it out, but do I really want to keep it? Because as soon as, let's say this report is bogus and this drops back down to like $55, then all of a sudden this will reverse, right? So I'm going to start losing money. I'm going to start making money on the call, but I'm going to start losing money on the put. So the profit loss on these two would reverse. Maybe it's time I got rid of the put. I mean, the put is down to a 3 theta. That's not bad though. 3 theta for a $500 buying power. Do I keep it? Do I hold it? Yeah, I'm really tempted to just hold it. I mean, I am getting 6.7 plus 3, almost 10 theta. I'm getting almost 10 theta for a $3,500 buying power. So that's about $350 a theta. And I mean, I got earnings next week, but earnings really doesn't matter. If this report holds up and PayPal is going to pay $40 billion to acquire this company here, then it doesn't matter what earnings are. So I'm gonna continue to hold this for a little bit. I feel like my buying power at 3,000 is okay. I can hold this for a few more days and collect a little bit more theta. I think when I get to about 20 days or so, or maybe just before earnings next week, I might rethink this and close it out. It's interesting. I'm curious to see where the stock goes from here. As we saw in that daily chart a second ago, when I was looking at Yahoo Finance, it's holding steady at 63. I mean, I think the market believes the report. The market believes the $39 billion acquisition price. So I'm going to hold this, and I'm going to collect my 10 theta. I'm going to let it roll, as it were, and collect a little bit more money. All right, so yeah, that's a quick. That's my take on Pinterest. Again, it's only my opinion. Don't trade based on my opinion. Trade based on your own opinion. This is not investment advice. Yada yada yada. You know the drill. You know the spiel. All right, that's all I'm taking a look at today. Great news. So happy days. All right, thanks.